guys, and welcome back to my channel here at Dragonaires Club. I hope everybody is doing really well. So what we're going to be doing in today's video is actually taking a look at the Orchid Mantis. Anybody that watched the Taunton video from last week will know that in my mega unboxing was actually two little orchid nymphs. So I'm going to be growing them on, and they're going to be going into a future breeding project that I'm really keen to get started. So at the moment I have one sub-adult female, so I'm hoping by the time the little male I have reaches breeding stage, then she's going to be in her mature stage, and then we can start breeding them and having that Uthika, going through that process, having them hatch out, and then we'll have lots of little baby orchid mantises as well. What I thought would also be really cool was actually to involve a giveaway as well in with this. So we're not going to be doing a giveaway just yet, but I'm thinking once we've hit 500 subs, then we can start doing our very first Dragonaires Club giveaway. And I thought it'd be really cool actually to involve one of those orchid mantises as a giveaway, and a thank you to all of you guys that have subscribed and messaged and been a really big part of this with me. So I thought that would be really cool. Unfortunately at the moment this is going to be limited to the UK only. I need to work out a way that I can sort of reward everybody who's overseas and in America. I know I have a fair few of you that have subscribed to my channel are in America, and I definitely want to reward you guys and bring you in as well. I want you to feel just as part of this group as everybody else that's watching. So I am going to come up with a way to reward you guys as well, whether or not it means I buy a spider or something over there for one of you to pick up, and then it's like a personal thank you from me. I don't know. I haven't worked it out yet. I've gotta get planning on that. But it will happen, so please don't worry, I'm not missing you guys out at all. So yeah, that's what I thought would be really cool. So in today's video, we're looking all at the Orchid Mantis, why it looks the way it does and its functions and everything. So I thought it'd be quite cool. We are going to be redoing the house as well for my sub-adult female because she does need it, bless her. And then we're also going to be housing the two little nymphs too. And then as those two nymphs grow, just like with the tarantulas, I'm going to give you frequent updates on how they're getting on, how they're growing, eating, all that sort of stuff. So I thought that'd be kind of cool too. So I want to bring you guys in on this journey with me as much as I possibly can, so I'm going to get you involved in literally everything that I have to offer. So what I also wanted to include in this intro as well was actually a massive thank you. So I know with the last video, the Taunton video, I got a lot of messages, really positive ones actually. So to all of you that took the time to like and subscribe and watch the video and comment as well, honestly, thank you. Like you've made my week. And it's just, yeah, it's really great that you guys have responded really positively as well, and actually taken the time to write a message to say that you really like the content. That honestly does mean a lot to me, and I just want to keep getting better and better for you guys, really. I want you guys to have the best content that I can possibly give you. So I think over time, this content hopefully is just going to keep getting better and better and better. I'm going to keep coming up with like cool ideas for you guys that I hope that you really enjoy. I've got some massive plans for the future, but that's going to be at a much later point. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright, so as you guys can see, this house is a little bit of a mess. Unfortunately, all the plants did die, and I think the main reason for this was due to me not actually putting in a drainage layer in the beginning when I first designed this. So over time, the substrate has dried out and the plants have just steadily withered away. So we're just going to start pulling everything out, giving it a good clean, and then we'll replace the old plants, put in a new drainage layer, and give her a beautiful new home again. We're just going to completely revamp it, gut the entire insides out. She's got a few watermarks on her glass, which is quite common because I do spritz her sort of every day. We're going to just give the entire thing a proper good clean through. I've got loads of lovely new plants to pop in, and we're just going to give her a whole fresh new look. So she's sitting at the top here, my little bow truckle. She's waiting for a new house, so let's not keep her waiting and get cracking on. Alright, so I've emptied it as much as I can. This was bioactive. Evidently it hasn't really gone very well, so we're going to do this completely from scratch. So I'm going to need to take this to the sink and give it a good scrub down. Alright, so whilst I'm cleaning up this little lady's home, she's going to be chilling out right next to me on my orange plant. Alright, so one time's nice and clean mantis home. And now what we're going to do is restart making it bioactive again. So we're going to do this much like what I do with the crested geckos. And we're going to put in pea shingle. Alright, so I'm back with some washed plants, so just giving them all a good root wash before we put them in. Let's crack on. Alright, so all I'm going to do now is just add some isopods and springtails. I'm also going to add in the cork bark that was there originally to give the isopods somewhere to hide. And we're done. We're all good to go. That's it. Say hello. Oh, say hello. There she is. Hello. Hello, everybody. Beautiful. So I just wanted to show you guys Orchid Mantis's house. So it's been about a week or so since this was done, and these flowers are doing so much better. That one in the back, look at those two purple blooms, so pretty. So I just wanted to update you guys on that, really. Where is she? There she is. So cute. All right, let's get you out of here, and then we're gonna have a lovely little chat with everybody about you. Little mantis discussion. You coming? Come on then, sweetheart. She's like, how dare you? I never thought Mantis would have like so much of a personality, but she really does. She's a great character. Here she comes. You can have a nice little chat in the sunshine. And typically as we've come over, the sun has gone away. Anyway, all that aside, let's have a little chat about the Orchid Mantis here. So this is my Jasmine, or Jazzy, as I otherwise call her, or otherwise known as the Hymenopus coronatus. So when it comes to figuring out whether or not you've got a male or a female, is by actually looking at the abdominal segments. So typically females will have 6 abdominal segments, and males will have 8. Another way is to actually look at these petal-like structures on the back of the legs. So typically female Orchid Mantis will have much broader and wider petal-shaped segments on the backs of their legs, and the males will have much smaller looking petals. The adult female orchid mantis will typically grow to about 3 inches and the male will grow to about 1 inch, so there's a definite difference. But this is something that's quite typical in the invertebrate world. The females do tend to be a fair bit bigger than their male counterparts. One of the things that typically set the orchid mantis apart from many other types of mantis is actually their appearance. So as you can see, Jasmine here is very white in colour, which is quite unusual for a mantis. She's got a beautiful green band, she's got those lilac-y coloured eyes, and then she does also have like these yellow dots as well on the backs of her legs, you can see. And her whole design is to typically look like an orchid flower. So these guys come from high humidity rainforests in Southeast Asia and Indonesia, and this is typically where orchid flowers tend to grow, in places where there is a lot of humidity, and those areas are generally the perfect home for the orchid mantis. So they'll just sit on the stems of the orchid plants to look like orchid flowers, and that's how they disguise themselves to catch their prey. So when it comes to feeding the orchid mantis, I'll tend to feed certain prey items such as blue bottle and green bottle flies. They're excellent because you can just leave them to fly around, you know, they're not going to do any harm to your mantis, so they can just act like they would in the wild, essentially, just sitting like a flower, and they'll just catch it when it comes by. Otherwise, I also feed crickets, but I do usually pre-kill these first because crickets do have a nasty tendency to actually bite, so that's just something to be very cautious of. Something I also tend to do quite differently, I don't actually provide a heat source for my mantis, as my room is typically about 24-25 degrees during the day. Typically it's advised to keep your mantis at about 30 degrees, but I tend to find that if you keep them at a cooler temperature, it takes longer for them to molt, so you're actually prolonging their life. So personally, that's just the method that I like to do, just to keep them alive that bit longer. So the male orchid mantis tends to live for approximately 1 year before it passes away, but what's quite unique to the adult female mantis is that once she has actually reached her final stage, she'll actually surpass that and live a few months after her final molt. With certain species of mantis, you can actually keep them communally, but the orchid mantis is not one of those mantis. Jasmine here, if she's given the opportunity to snack on another one, she will take it. And when it comes to actually housing the orchid mantis, I think it's far more beneficial to actually keep them in a bioactive environment as much as you can. As I said earlier, these guys quite like very high humidity, and you're just helping yourself out massively. If you go bioactive, it'll naturally keep that humidity much higher than it would if you were using fake plants and foliage. These guys also thrive a lot better if they're given cross ventilation as well, so it's just good to keep that in mind too. I am hoping to involve Jasmine here in a breeding project. Once the small male that I have is up to par and he's able to breed, and Jasmine is at her adult stage, then we're going to look to breed these orchid mantis. Another thing that's actually very cool about the orchid mantis as well is that once they've actually left the ootheca, which is what the female mantises produce following mating, once the orchid nymphs have actually left the ootheca, they're actually black in colour, and the reason for this is for them to actually look like little ants. And then as soon as they've had their first molt, they immediately start turning white in colour, and they'll start blending in more with the orchid flower itself. I think that's pretty much everything information-wise I can give you about the orchid mantis. She's having a good clean. These guys, honestly, they're like the cats of the mantis world. They're just constantly cleaning. She loves to preen all of her little feet. Alright, let's get on to the little nymphs. Right, so we've got our little orchid nymphs right here. So we've got the male and we've got the female. Just going to show you exactly how small these babies are. You can see the male there on the left. He's tiny. And the female, where is she? She's actually on the floor. She blends in so well to white. And we're just going to pop them now into these houses. So we've got one for the male, one for the female. Let's get them in. always hang on to these. In the future when I have more Orchid Mantis, it's just ideal really. The fact it's already cut as well. I have a big reel of it, but I always try and save it where I can. My goodness, look at you. So tiny. You come up? No. They're such beautiful little mantis. Look at him. Look how small he is. It's adorable. For cleaning flies, a paintbrush does really well, just FYI. They just stick to it. Lovely, well he's in. There's plenty of space in there for him to grow. Again, as with all babies, I always keep it quite simplistic, so he's got plenty there to hang upside down from. With mantis, it's really important that they have a taller enclosure as they hang upside down when they molt. And they need a space that's like 3 times the length of their own body to do that successfully. If they don't have that adequate space, then they can very easily have a bad molt. And that's when you get like missing limbs or mangled limbs, or sometimes they just don't make it. There's the boy. Let's do the girl. You can see she's sort of a little bit bigger. Yep, that was me. She's looking like, did you just flick me on the butt? You have to be so gentle. Because they're so tiny. Come on in. You come in? Yeah, you're not shy, are you? It's so sweet. There we go. We're in. She's got some beautiful yellow coloration to her. Very pretty girl. And there we go, all housed and done. Alright, and lastly, what I just thought we would do is actually go ahead and feed the little Orchid Mantis nymphs. And we're just going to be feeding them some fruit flies. Now this one's just a little boy, and he's just on the lid, so... Look at his little yellow head. How cute is he? So close. This is something I didn't actually mention earlier, but when they are in prey mode and they're looking to hunt, or they feel like they're being hunted, they do this sway mechanism. where they try and blend in with the leaves around them swaying in the wind. A lot of people call it a mantis wobble. There it is, there's the mantis wobble. And this is the young female, a little nymph. She's very inquisitive, very curious, and very, very pretty. Unfortunately, I was a little bit too slow on this girl's takedown, but it was epic. Fair play to her. She like caught it with one claw and then just went straight in. So that marks the end of this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it and found it quite interesting. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please press that subscribe button to be notified of any future content that I do. And it also helps new viewers to find this content. Other than that, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!